Welcome to this second part of our two-part series on why the happy life illusion is a life-draining blind alley, an enticing trap that you must remove yourself from immediately. By now, I hope you have digested the first video and are already working on any faulty thought patterns uncovered there that are operating in your life. Good. In this second part, we will run through the last 4 of those false promises that the happy life illusion offers the unwary. We will also demonstrate, using real-life examples, not only how walking into some situations with this illusion often leaves us disappointed, but also how truth usually steps in to clear the fog and set us on the path of permanent awareness, stability, and growth. When you learn of these situations later in the video, I am sure you will recall someone you know who likely passed through this baptism of fire if you think hard enough. Finally, as promised, we will show you how you can build a life that is untouchable by the destructive effects of the happy life illusion. An authentic life. A life that includes a well-balanced mix of sorrow, mystery, joy, peace, and silence. One that embodies a deep, resounding yes to your full multi-dimensional humanity. A life where you tower above every wave, tumult, and fluctuation. Where you are both detached and in control at the same time. A true master of your fate, not one tossed about by every passing wave of emotion. There's also a bonus section to imprint in your heart why you must do so today. False premise number 7. Gratitude fixes everything. Going through life mouthing gratitude at every turn, thinking that fixes everything, and equating it with a happy life, is an illusion. True gratitude is holy, but it's definitely not a bypass or a means of dodging salient issues that need fixing. We all know that one can act grateful and still be hurting inside. Who does that serve? Nobody. Pretending to be thankful covers trauma and just silences real wounds. True gratitude, on the other hand, is deeper, and is really transformative only when paired with truth. First, allow yourself to feel your sorrow. Then just find one thing sincerely worth honoring in that situation, just one thing. Your consistency in honoring that one thing you're grateful for, that's real grace. And it unlocks a cascade of more gratitude-evoking situations, one of which may be the solving of that pain situation you were hiding. Gratitude is powerful when it includes your whole and honest self, and that is when the true unlock happens. That unforced joy from deep within is incomparable to the superficial and pretended happiness you earlier carried around. Number 8. I base my happiness on my success because it means I've done life right. This trap is fallen into by those who have accolades, not just money like the earlier point. Success is good, but honestly, success without alignment is golden bondage. So many people succeed at things they secretly hate. So what's so special about success per se? What the world rewards might actually be starving your soul, leaving it empty on the day of real reckoning, usually at retirement, when the noise of worldly adulation has dried up to a dead silence. Even worse is the flip side of that assumption. If you are under this illusion, then let me ask you, will sudden misfortune, which can happen anytime, mean that you will no longer be happy? If your answer is yes, then you are proving my point that such happiness is built on an illusory foundation. Spiritually rooted success looks like inner stability, peace, clarity, and truth, not just outcomes. You must redefine success as a congruence between your actions and your essence. When you live from the soul, even failure teaches and enriches you. You become stoic, and the need to cling to superficial emotions vanishes. Number 9. I am happy because I always avoid conflict. Being at peace with life is not a bad aspiration, but avoiding conflict often means avoiding truth. Happiness or even peace that's built on fear-based silence is honestly pretty fragile. Speaking your truth may create tension at first, but ultimately it brings about your liberation. Boundaries may disappoint others, but they rescue your integrity. The goal isn't smoothness or fake sweetness, but authenticity. Long-term peace, it really does demand short-term discomfort. Number 10. Happiness based on a feeling of having arrived. Sorry to burst your bubble, because actually, there's no final destination in growth. This trap often affects spiritual seekers because as they attain increasing levels of enlightenment, the ego slides in to share the new quote and unquote glory. For the mere fact that awakening is a spiral, the very notion of arrival is a mere illusion. The truth is that the farther you go, the more you meet yourself, both directly and as a revealed aspect of God, the whole. So stop measuring your life by smiles, measure it by presence or deeper markers. And save yourself the distress of carrying around the illusion of happiness based on having arrived. You haven't arrived, and that's even the beauty of it. Now you're probably asking, what does my soul really want if it doesn't want happiness? That's the wrong question because your soul wants your happiness, it actually wants it for you. The soul, yours or anyone else's for that matter, doesn't want just that superficial, happiness. For that is an emotion bound to fluctuate with time. It wants happiness that emanates from simple but lasting things of timeless value, things like wholeness, truth, freedom, coherence, and deep meaning. Fortunately, these qualities don't depend on outer circumstances. They're internal orientations, totally within your control and not subject to seasonal fluctuations. Let's look at them one by one. Wholeness includes your joy and your grief. Truth may cost you comfort, but it never costs your integrity. Freedom arises not from ease but from deep self-acceptance, one that is unshaken by outer circumstances. And meaning often emerges from those unplanned moments we'd never normally choose, but ultimately honor. Because such moments strip us of ego-driven illusions and assumptions, and reveal paths that plant lasting meaning in our lives concerning a concept, situation, or thing. Let us now look at some of those real-life situations and interactions where our search for happiness at all costs, within them, often fails us. And after a jolt or rude awakening, truth intervenes, rescues, and resets us to the wisdom of higher awareness. Example number 1. Remember the divorce that broke your heart, but awakened your true self. At first it felt like devastation, like the world was ending because it was your major source of happiness and meaning. But over time you realized the relationship had turned into a cage, stifling your growth. The grief became a teacher, showing you the places you abandoned yourself to stay loved. You learned to rebuild from truth instead of illusion. What looked like loss became liberation, and you met your real self for the first time. Example number 2. Losing a job and finding your calling. When you were fired or forced to leave, it felt like failure. This was your source of happiness, and you thought nothing better existed. Without that security blanket, your creativity reawakened. You were pushed to ask, what am I truly meant to do? The detour revealed your deeper purpose, and what first looked like a closed door became a divine redirection. Example number 3, being rejected and reclaiming your dignity by renewed self-awareness. Being rejected triggered long-buried feelings of unworthiness, but it invited you to come home to yourself and became an opportunity to free yourself from the illusion of happiness that comes from external acceptance. Once the illusion of seeking happiness from being validated, accepted, and approved by others wore off, you began to validate your own worth rather than outsource it. You no longer begged for love and realized you were always enough, even without their approval. Example number 4, living with less and finally feeling enough. After many years of clinging to excess and forcing yourself to equate that with happiness, life burst your bubble, and truth came to your rescue. You started living on just what you need and realized that minimalism isn't about lack. It's really about clarity and decluttering on many levels. Letting go of excess revealed what actually matters. You discovered peace in simplicity, a kind of depth in slowness. Without that constant chasing, your nervous system softened. Your identity became anchored in being, not owning. Enoughness became your new wealth. Because of this initiation, both in lack and in plenty, you are now stable and balanced, and you are finally, truly happy. There are so many more examples if you look around you closely enough, but for now, let's look at how to build a life beyond this illusion. Here are 4 practical steps you can and should start implementing immediately to plant yourself on the firm soil of true happiness today. 1. Practice radical presence. Feel what you feel without shame. This invites healing rather than avoidance. Presence helps you witness rather than react. When you're present with yourself, you own your experience instead of escaping it. Radical presence is the birthplace of true inner power. It's where the illusion of happiness all the time loses its grip. 2. Anchor in spiritual disciplines that stay, even when you don't feel like it. These include prayer, meditation, breathwork, journaling, and rituals. Let these be acts of devotion, not obligation. Love them till you can't live without them. Spiritual practices ground you when emotions fluctuate. They remind you of who you are beyond changing moods, and they keep your compass steady in the storm. Build emotional resilience with therapy and breathwork embodiment. Don't just think your way through pain, feel your way through it. Healing lives in the body. Breathwork unlocks trapped emotion, and therapy offers structured reflection. 3. Rewire yourself to carry truth always. Embodiment practices help you rewire how you carry truth. They help you choose honesty and authenticity over likability, especially because people-pleasing really disconnects you from your soul. Speak your truth with compassion but without apology. Integrity builds safety both within and around you. The cost of dishonesty is inner fragmentation, and when you choose honesty, your life starts to align. 4. Let purpose be your compass, not pleasure. Mood is fleeting, but purpose lasts and sustains, so anchor your choices in meaning, not your moods. Remember that purpose won't always feel good, but it always feels and ends right. So let your actions reflect your deeper why, as that's the path to a life that feels whole and leads to happiness that is not wave-like. To reward your investment in yourself by staying till the end, here's your bonus section on how all this supports your spiritual evolution. Leaving behind the illusion of happiness at all times is the beginning of maturity. You stop needing to manipulate life into a perfect experience. Instead, you become open to its lessons, just as they are. This is the threshold of spiritual adulthood, where the soul's growth matters more than the ego's comfort. You become stable in storms, soft in sorrow, and strong in truth. And in that groundedness, your presence becomes a beacon for others too. You stop needing your life to go your way or the way of influencers and outsiders, and you start letting it shape you. You become trustworthy to the divine and also become useful to the world. And slowly, some things better than superficial happiness appear. Virtues like clarity, truth, and grace. The timeless values your soul needs to anchor you in the peace that passeth all understanding. You now possess the version of happiness that does not bow to the fluctuations of emotions. Beloved, like I said earlier, you don't need a happy life, specifically not the one social media sells you. That is for children. Its illusory comfort is for those who are led, not for those like you, who are born to lead. What you need is an authentic life. A life where you tower above every wave, tumult, and fluctuation that life may throw at you. Here, you are both detached and in control at the same time. This is where you have the version of happiness that holds against every pressure. That kind of joy doesn't break when the world does. That's the one worth seeking. That's the life worth living. Now that you know how to build it, go do it. Starting today. Like and subscribe if you found value in this presentation, and keep on being the earthly ripple of divine love as you remain blessed and renewed on all levels.